Let's go. What's up, y'all? HST Moons back again on this Saturday. Cooking. Shout out JB on the beat. Getting us started, getting us cooking early on this Saturday. Before we get into it, want to make sure you're going on the Twitter, following all the latest hitters, all the latest locks. And go check out the latest episode too. First football show of the season dropped. 3 or 4 round props. Parlay said fuck them. We thought it was gonna be the under, but them boys just came out balling on opening night. What a hell of a game too. Back and forth. And make sure, go to the YouTube, check out all the latest videos, all the latest new edits. Let's go. Let's go. So, Dortmund on this. Ooh, shit. Before that, Tottenham with the red card? Who got it? Oh, Tanganga. Damn, he got 2 yellows in the span of 5 minutes. Sheesh. And Zaha got an unsportsmanlike. That game sounds like it's hectic right now. But, first lock of the day. We got Arsenal versus Norwich. Arsenal's coming off that 5-0 loss to Man City. Really tough start to the year. This is the battle of the 2 bottom teams in the Premier League. Both 0-3. Man City in that game came out dominated. They got 2 early goals. And then Xhaka got the red card. So there was no chance for Arsenal in that game. Man City held 81% of the possession. I think Arsenal only had 1 shot, and it wasn't even on target. So, and because of that, they felt like they needed to host a little sneaky friendly behind closed doors. They played Brentford, but they only played their second team, just to probably work on formation and tactics and all that. But they smashed them in that little friendly. And that was before international break, so he's hoping they come back, they lock in for the season. They did beat West Brom 6-0 in the Carabao Cup in the game before that. So hopefully it's looking up. Hopefully that game wouldn't have been as shitty if he didn't get that red card early, but they was already down 2-0. Norwich coming into the game, plus 600 on the money line. They're coming off 2-1 loss at Leicester. And they have 5 more shots than Leicester, which is surprising. But only 1 more shot on target with 4. And their only goal this year was on a penalty in that game by Pukki. So it's been tough for them in the Premier League so far. They're probably a favorite to get relegated, which is surprising because they do have some new signings. And over the past couple weeks, they just signed Ozan Kabak. Liverpool chose... What the fuck? Oh. These motherfuckers. Little. But I think because I kept the shit playing. Yeah. But signed Ozan Kabak. They didn't know whether or not Liverpool were going to keep him. And then Liverpool was just like, nah, we aren't going to choose to sign him from Schalke. So there was a little window there where Kabak was just looking for a team. And I think Norwich is perfect. So if he does get the start in this game, could be tough in the first play out there, especially with Arsenal. And if Arsenal, they set that attacking lineup just right. They do have great players up front that can put the ball in the back of the net. So with the over-under at 2.5 in this game, the over at a minus 145 favorite, you know HST moves. you know we'll send the over. So in this game, my lock is over 2.5 at minus 145 on the money line. In the last two matchups between Norwich and Arsenal, there's been 4 total goals in each of those games. So, little quick tidbit. And at the end of the episode, and we're going to tweet the lock, game happening in a half hour, Bayern Leverkusen. Let's see what the lineup's looking like. Haaland should be out there, Julian Brandt, Marco Reus, Dahoud, Axel Witsel. That's big in the midfield. And then you got Bellingham. But that defense is tough. And Leverkusen been balling. So, actually, we'll give you that. Yeah. Of course, we're going to take the over 3.5 in that game. But Leverkusen at home, plus 200 on the money line. Versus Dortmund coming in just a slight favorite at plus 120, which is surprising. And I don't know if they'll be able to get it done. But with the over-under at 3.5 and the over being a minus 105 slight underdog, which those odds have probably shifted by now. Because it was really up in the air who was going to start for Dortmund. They have so many players that are questionable and going to miss the game. So you got to make sure that when they come back, they're fully healthy. You got Bayern Leverkusen coming off a 4-1 win at Augsburg. Held just over 50% of possession, but they were even on shots with them. So giving up 13 shots and shooting 13 shots yourself, they were just more prolific on the day. And that's just after coming off beating Mönchengladbach 4-0. So back-to-back games with 4 goals. They out there balling. They got Patrick Schick up front. Diaby. They out there going in. So they scored a total of 12 goals this season in their 4 games. That's just about 3 a game. And they've won the last 2 home games versus Dortmund. So I think Leverkusen getting a half goal, that means win or draw, you're hitting. So I think that's a solid play, especially coming against a Dortmund team who up and down start to the season, to be honest. They're coming off a 3-2 victory versus Hoffenheim, held 57% of possession with 13 of 23 shots on target. And of course you're going to get that with Haaland, right? So it's tough because their defense, it's been mediocre at best. They've let up 2 goals, or at least 2 goals in their past 4 games. I think that's a huge stat right there. In the game previous to that Hoffenheim game, they lost 2-1 on the road to Freiburg. So a shaky start on the road this season. I think this plays perfectly into it hitting the over 3.5 and Leverkusen covering that 0.5. So, and that's plus 0.5 because they're the slight underdog. So for this game, we're going to lock in over 3.5 on the money line. And I think let's see if it shifted. Because you got, and it always changes. Jeremy, yeah, all right. See, about the same odds for winners. And no shift at all. For the under to be minus 125 sketches me out a little bit, but I ain't really worried about it. We're locking in over 3.5. And the little flyer for this game, which I think makes the most sense, but it's not a lock. But I'll probably throw it out there anyway. I'm going to take Leverkusen plus 0.5. And that's minus 140 favorite. Lock it in. Send it. And RB Leipzig versus Bayern Munich. We're going to get to that after. That game's at 12:30 today. The 10 o'clock games we're locking in for the Premier League. We got Man United minus 550 on the money line versus Newcastle, who's plus 1,400. This is a huge game. And probably solely for the fact that, guess what? Ronaldo is back in the Premier League, rocking that number 7. Him linking up, and I think Rashford's missing this game. But you got Jadon Sancho. Imagine if they do some crazy shit where Ronaldo and Cavani could somehow link up as striker. Because I'm not too high on Martial. And if you watch the international break, I don't know, man. I don't know. You got Man United coming off that 1-0 victory at Wolves, which was tough. That was a tough game. They held 56% of possession, but they did give up 15 shots with 6 on goal. Man United 2-1-0, haven't lost this year yet. And they're coming off back-to-back road games, so I think they'll be amped to be going and playing at home. And it's going to be a huge game. That crowd is going to be rocking at Old Trafford. So, Greenwood getting the late winner for Man United versus Wolves. Secured that in the 80th minute. And the game previous to that, they were on the road versus Southampton. They drew 1-1. So, a little skeptical with Man United going on the road, but I think them at home, the lines are a little fishy for this game because Man United, on a handicap bet, they're -2.5. And they kicked off the year with that 5-1 win versus Leeds. So I think they'll be on fire. I think the -2.5 is a little sketchy because all the hype's gonna be on Ronaldo returning. It's gonna be hectic. So I'ma lock in over under 3.5 in this game. I think we're just gonna rock with the overs on today, at least early. And make sure you stay tuned for the show tomorrow. Football Sundays are back. I can't believe you already know. Gotta rock the hoodie. I cannot wait. It's gonna be a hell of a day tomorrow. So much going on. You got soccer, you got football, and baseball going on. You got them fighting for October. It's a hectic time of year. College football going on. You got Oregon. Who's Oregon playing today? It's a huge game. I'm pretty sure it's Ohio State. And Cricket's back out there fucking. Yeah, Oregon versus Ohio State today at 12. That is going to be a hell of a game. Shout out Joe. You already know. Biggest Oregon fan growing up. I'll give it to him. Facts. Back when D'Anthony Thomas was just turning up. So, I'm thinking for this game, you got Newcastle. Only started the season 0-1-2. Haven't won yet this year. They're coming off a 2-2 draw versus Southampton, where they only held 36% of possession, and they gave up 12 more shots with 22. But had 5 shots on goal, which is solid. 5 out of 10 shots on goal. That was only 1 less than what Southampton had. So that was a game that was really back and forth, hectic. I don't know if Newcastle really deserved to win that game. Oh, shit. Ronaldo starts for Man United. Oh, let's go. Let's go. It's hectic. 10 o'clock. Let's go. Make sure y'all locked in. I cannot wait, bruh. Newcastle, they lost their previous 3 games, and they just got knocked out from the Carabao Cup by Burnley at home and didn't score. Let up the extra time goal, which you know how that could go in cup matches. It's always getting tough. And this year, they've given up 9 goals. So the defense, shaky. They're missing Shelby and Caleb Wilson. So one of them things where I don't think Newcastle will cover. It's just all the hype up around Ronaldo returning, and granted, this should be a hell of a hype. I'm fucking hyped. But I don't know if they'll quite cover that -2.5. You can add Man United -550 money line to any parlay just to boost the odds. They won 6 out of their last 8 home games versus Newcastle. So I'm not really worried about that. You can boost the odds all day. But I love seeing goals. Ronaldo back in the lineup. Actually, did the lineups drop for that? Oh, you got Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, Paul Pogba, Mason Greenwood, and Bruno. the other Portuguese international and Bruno and Ronaldo linking up. Sheesh. And then just wait till Rashford gets back out there. And hopefully he can stay healthy because he always has injury knocks every year. But for a young player, I think he'll be able to get back in, lock that part of his game up. And it's always up in the air because you never know when you're going to catch an injury. It's really lucky to draw, but it's tough. And I hope he gets back out there because he's a hell of a player. So for this game, we're going to lock in over 3.5. I think there's going to be goals left and right. It's just if Newcastle get a sneaky goal and Man United win 3-1, that is going to be tough because they're not going to cover that. And the -2.5 is +140, which probably shifted, honestly. It definitely shifted. Since Ronaldo because it was up in the air whether or not he was going to start. But I thought him returning early, getting that quarantine in, getting that training in, it was trending that way. And now, see, -550 to now -600, so that only means that shifted, just a little bit, +140 to +130. But I'd probably stay away from it. It's pretty good value because Man United could lock in, but it's tough. So for that game, lock in over 3.5. And if you're confident about them covering, fucking send it too. And my last lock of the day, which in the Premier League, and make sure you stay tuned, we're dropping all the late locks on Twitter. I cannot wait. We're going to be cooking today. Straight cooking. So, Southampton versus West Ham. You got Southampton coming in +190 on the money line. West Ham +137. Over under at 2.5. Where you got, we'll check out their lineups too for that. But then you got West Ham 2-1-0 to start the season. Haven't lost yet, but they are coming off that 2-2 draw at home versus Palace, that's kind of hectic. Because West Ham's defense has been shaky. They have given up goals. The only 2 shots by Palace in that game, they let in. So, it's tough. They beat Leicester 4-1. And the previous game before that, beat Newcastle on the road 4-2. So, they are giving up goals, but they're hella prolific. You got Benrahma. Fornals scored that crazy goal. That was a rocket right inside the left post. I say post because it's football season. Let's go. And I think this, with Declan Rice and Soucek locking down central defensive midfield, but that defense in the middle with Dawson and Ogbonna, it's shaky. Fabianski hasn't really been the best in goal. So I think Antonio will get out there. He'll at least get a goal or two. And I think this game is only trending one way. We're sending the fucking overs today. But you got Southampton coming in 0-2-1 to start the season. Haven't won yet. They're coming off a 2-2 draw versus Newcastle. Held 64% of possession in that game with 22 shots, which something's working over there in the tactics if you're getting that many shots. But they only had 6 on target. It's going to be tough because they lost Danny Ings. But they beat Newport 8-0 in the Carabao Cup, which is pointing up. But I think in a game versus West Ham, where they'll probably get a goal, but they're going to give up a decent amount of goals, probably at least 3. And when you got Southampton coming off that solid result at home versus Man United, where they held United to a 1-1 draw, which was surprising. But West Ham coming in had 14 shots versus Palace, but only 4 on target. They're going to want to get out there, get running again. I think they're going to switch things up just a little bit. Make sure they're getting back out there and being more prolific and more attacking. And only holding just under 50% of possession versus Southampton team on the road. It's probably a lot of turnovers. So you got to be careful with that. For this game, I think West Ham, I think they'll lock in on the road. This is one where West Ham being plus 137 on the money line, I always get sketched out when it's not an even number, like 5 or 0. And 5's not an even number, but you know what I mean. Like if it's minus 135, it's always like a minus 135 or a minus 140. Once you start getting into like, minus 138 favorite or plus 138 favorite, it gets sketchy. But I think, actually, did it switch? Because that's always weird. Yeah, see, plus 137. That's, I don't know. But first goal scorer, Antonio, plus 400. That's not bad. That boy is a beast. That's not bad value at all. And the over under 2.5, did that switch at all? It actually did. So it was minus 135 favorite just last night. That shifted by 10 to minus 145. You already know we locking it in. So my locks for this game are, I think people are going to be staying away from West Ham just because last game they drew at home. But I think they'll be able to come into this game on the road, lock it in, over 2.5, and West Ham plus 137 on the money line. Send it. HST Moon back again. Cooking. You know what's crazy? I dropped that episode Thursday. I'm over here setting up, and I don't know if y'all can see it, but I got this new fucking... Actually, yeah, I can't even move the camera, but I got this new Corsair mat, bro. This shit is sick. This shit is sick. And if you want to check out the picture, it's going to be on IG. It's going to be on the Snapchat. Make sure you go check it out. And all the latest locks and all the latest hitters on the IG at @allmooney__ with the highlights. I cannot wait. It's going to be a hell of a day. And make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow. First NFL Sunday of the year. Kicking off. You know we got starts and sits. DFS plays. Biggest parlays of the weekend. My locks. My iffy ones. Bruh, and I can't wait to drop more prop bets. Hell of a game Thursday. And if that's any indication of how this NFL season's gonna be, let's go. Let's go. I had Amari. He caught 2 tutties. I think we had one of the prop bets we had was over 5.5. That was at plus, 110 odds? What? Give me that. Give me that. Let's fucking go. And a little thing just to make sure you locked in with the West Ham versus Southampton game. The over 2.5 has hit in 7 of the last 9 meetings. Between Southampton and West Ham. And West Ham, they've beaten Southampton in 7 of the last 9 meetings. So, playing imperfect. And I think if you're sketched out about West Ham going on the road, I can understand it. But this is how you gotta know how it goes. You gotta know how the shit goes. And I think just because money's probably going on Southampton to cover, and I think the lock in. So let's get it. I'm back again on this Saturday. We're gonna be cooking, and make sure you check out all the latest locks on the Twitter at High Stakes Takes, and that's with a Z, because Twitter, they don't give me the S yet. So let's end this with the LB. Let's get it. Oh yeah, we get his turn.